our Morning Throners podcast.
I'm Nelson.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Glow.
And I'm Kyle.
And we're the fucking Morning Throners. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Song of Ice and Fire podcast. Sorry I missed you guys at last episode's bring in. I'm sure it stunk, but here we are for Arya VIII, talking big girl, big castle.
I hate to say it because I love Glow, but you're not wrong.
It took a couple of tries.
It wasn't the same without you, Jeffrey.
I'm sure it stunk. It's a talent.
He has the practice.
All right. So we got an Arya chapter here. She's doing a lot, but not a whole lot at the same time, if that makes sense.
Nothing that really matters in the grand scheme of Game of Thrones, right?
Kyle, what do you think?
I like this one. It was good.
I like it. I think it's a good chapter.
Nobody had to die. I know you weren't there, Jeff, but they said that I only like chapters where people die.
Yeah.
Somebody did die.
Somebody
actually didn't have
That's
to.
why you liked it.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good all around.
It seems to coincide that every time you like an episode or a chapter,
Somebody's
it coincides with
taking
someone
the
dying.
axe.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe I have bloodlust.
It helps.
Who knows?
Doesn't hurt, that's for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, busyness. Basically, the main thing of the chapter is Tywin's leaving, so everybody's getting ready for it.
And camp is going nuts.
Yes,
She's getting a lot of intel about what's going on.
Yeah.
We get that part of it.
So,
but everything she is doing is unimportant.
yeah. So we
she
know
kind of realizes that
Tywin's-
at the end. She kind of realizes that at the end of the chapter too.
Exactly. But I mean, she's also 9 or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
you can't really blame her, but
So we know Tywin's getting ready to bounce. Camp's running around trying to prepare. Sir Adam Marbrand is the first to go.
yep.
He's mentioned he's wearing like a bunch of red shit. He's pretty fancy looking, I think.
Yeah,
he
he
makes
makes
a
a
show
show
of his exit,
leaving.
basically.
Some ladies are crying because he's leaving. They're so upset, just so over the top.
He must be a good looking cat.
Yeah,
You can't be banging those chicks anymore, I guess.
and we
Maybe
said
he's just got a big pipe.
He could
Maybe, yeah.
could be longswording a lot of girls in camp. She's also, because of their leaving, right? There's rumors of why they're leaving.
yeah. There's
Basically.
some talk of Rob for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He either burned down Casterly Rock and took over the Lion's Tooth.
He either burned Landsport, or he means to burn Landsport, or he either took over Castle Rock and killed everyone inside, or he was currently besieged in the Golden Tooth. So none of these rumors are like on the nail, but
Same
they're all
thing
like
we've run into 100 times
yeah.
now.
They got to write the general theme down.
Yep.
Rob's out west doing something bad. They don't.
Rob's in the West in their homeland doing war.
He's a pussy because he went that way, not this way.
Yeah.
What a puss.
And then, all right, so basically Weiss has Arya just running around sending messages, even out of the castle sometimes.
Yep. And she gets to thinking, you know what? I'm already out here. What if I just keep going out and out and out and out and out and out and don't come back? But
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
she gets scared. Weiss's
Weissy. Weissy's a
terrified her a
psycho.
little bit.
you can smell it. Weezy can smell a lie.
Weissy can smell and just feel it and
He's
see
going to
it.
give you to Vargo.
Yeah, Vargo's going to cut off your
I like
feet.
how George keeps reminding you that some of these characters are kids by making them believe things that are just like we can't fucking smell lies. Just get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? Maybe not now, but when she has the sword and thinks she can get a horse, that's probably a good choice.
I mean, but he seems like he's pretty
But he
something-
comes out of nowhere when
something-
she was
yeah,
saying
like,
on a horse.
why
He does,
did it
slap
take
her
so
out of
long?
it, yeah.
What's going on? He's not aware of what's his workers.
he's on top of them. Yeah.
It might be a figure of speech, but he's probably like, you're up to something type shit.
Yeah.
One thing that I enjoyed was that because he thinks of her as this little weasel rat person, Weiss doesn't seal any of the messages. So
Yeah, he doesn't think
Arya's
she
just
can read.
running around reading all of these maybe some of them aren't confidential, but I'm sure they don't want just everyone knowing what's in them. But Arya's
Yeah.
reading all these messages.
But
Well,
it's not-
she
it's-
says most of them don't contain any importance at all. It's like, oh, take this here, get this carriage there.
Which is, I want to talk about a difference from the show here that I don't think is a spoiler because we're far enough. But Jeff, what do you think? Do you know what I want to talk about?
The fact that she's Tywin's cupbearer.
Yeah, in the show, she's Tywin's cupbearer. The fact that Tywin leaves, I think we can talk about now. In the show, she's like Tywin's messenger.
Yeah.
She does have access to some messages that are talking about stuff, right?
Yeah, she's a lot closer. She's closer in the show to war talk, right?
I think it makes sense in the show because in the show, Tywin would have scenes anyway, right?
Mhm.
Because in the show, they don't really go by only these people have POVs. It's just they show everything.
Right. And
So it makes sense to
Weiss
just put
isn't-
two characters who are in the same place
Weiss
together.
is nobody in. Is that a spoiler?
There's no Weiss. There is no Weiss in the show.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a spoiler.
He's
'cause
dead
he
now,
dies
too.
at the end of this chapter.
Yeah, so he dies, but like, so somebody dies, but they just never call him Weiss, right? Like she's never like
Yeah, like to what you're saying
under
is
somebody's
even her
tutelage
list, the
of
people that
yeah.
she gets killed is different from the show, which again
Yeah.
is like the people that she's killing aren't major. So again, as long as the show has her kill non-major character who really cares, the plot doesn't change.
And I think it's cool for Kyle and anybody else that's a book person. Like you can't just rely on the show anymore. Like we're different.
the reason I think this is good, and again, when I tell people when they're like, "Oh, should I read Game of Thrones?" I'm like, "Dude, the books are like, should I read the books?" I'm like, "The books are awesome," because most people have seen the show, unlike Kyle. But the problem is, I think for most people is you have to read a 700-page book that's pretty much identical to the show.
A season. Right. You can watch a season in a day, and you have to probably read a book for a month. Like,
I'm just saying, the first book, like this book, even in this book, the stuff that we're talking about here isn't major and doesn't affect the plot. But like this is, I think this is like kind of interesting stuff that's happening, right? In Arya's storyline that is completely cut out of the show. And again, it doesn't affect the major plot, so it's not a huge thing.
And that's why it was cut out of the show.
But it's still cool. But I'm saying you don't really get much of this, even this type of differences in book one at all. So I think the difficulty of getting into the thing is you have to read a fifth of the series and you basically don't get anything out of the first book, right? You don't get any of that like, oh, wait, this didn't happen in the show. This didn't happen in the show. I mean, there is a little bit of that, but like you have to really be looking and really know the show.
Well, they add more to the first season, like the scenes between Robert and Cersei and shit like that. That's what comes to mind.
Like almost, I feel like almost every chapter from the first book is like pretty much represented in the show.
Chapter, yeah, I agree with Nelson. I really feel like the first book is like word for word scripted in the show. They did a good job.
Yeah,
and like. You can't say like the show, like maybe the last season, like they got a little bit away from it, but the show's still good. But the book is good.
Yeah, and again, like I think that they do a good, like I'm saying, the stuff that they're cutting out in the earlier seasons is stuff that I think is okay stuff to cut out. But again, I think it's also very like worthwhile to read and like be like, oh,
sure.
It's like you're missing
some
stuff.
More, it's just like more sides of the cube, like.
But I think like again, like not just the Arya storyline, but like a lot of storylines that we're reading right now. This is about the point in the books. I always tell people like halfway through the second book is where there's differences that are gonna like keep you interested, right? It's gonna make you want to keep reading because like I feel like if you've already seen the show and you're reading book one, you're like, I know, right,
and now you're like, oh wait, this is different. All right, back on track.
Yeah.
So as she's running around with her messages, she's also looking for Jaqen because she has a feeling that maybe he's leaving with the rest of the people. She wants to get her last two kills.
Yeah, she's got some names to give out here before he gets out of Dodge.
She's not on a shortage of names, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, I think he would still hold up his side of the deal if she ran into him later. But I understand her fear of not running into him later.
Yeah.
Like he seemed like he went out of his way to give her this deal and stuff. Like I mean, like it's not like she's like, you owe me. He came to her, you know. Like, I think
it's almost this way. Like I can't, like the way he mentioned it, I can't leave you without giving you these three.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And she finds out that
he's
actually
it was three because the three prisoners, correct?
It was like a religious thing where he's like, you took 3 lives from a guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The 3 prisoners.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, I was just trying to remember.
Why wouldn't he just kill the other 2 and be like, all right, you only owe 1 life now?
Or why wouldn't he just say, I only owe you 1 for me. The other 2 guys.
So jumping ahead a little bit here, one of the other 2 guys is the one who's like, oh yeah, I'll tell you where he is, right? And I wonder.
Yeah, the other dude is like, I'm gonna rape you, little girl.
Well, yeah, but like, what if
the sword?
What if Jaqen, like, she's like, Jaqen's scared of him. What if Jaqen went up to him and was like, hey, you guys are 2 of the lives that were saved. So if you don't stay on her good side, you know what I mean? Like if she dies,
the guy's like, I'm gonna rape you. So he's not very scared until the mention of his name. We'll get there. So let's get there. The one she finds out, asking around, I don't know who she even asked, but he's part of Lorch's men. Lorch's unit, Lorch is staying, so Jaqen shouldn't be leaving. So
he's one of the 2 people that'll be staying. The other one is Vargo Hoat, who is the one that Weiss says that he's going to give people to if they try and escape, because he's known for cutting off people's feet, I guess. Or at least that's what Weiss says he's going to do to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Weiss or I guess Vargo's not here right now because he said like he's going to do that to you when he gets back. But I'm not sure because he's also the one that's going to be like in command with Armory, it seems like. And also, I think in the last Arya chapter, I think they were the ones that like kind of got into a scruffle. Like one of them accused the other one.
Here they say Armory and Vargo go at it.
Yeah, I think
Like, it's
one of
gonna be
them
interesting when he comes back.
Yeah, I think one of them made fun of the other one's men for like letting Beric Dondarrion slip through their fingers, and it started like a fight. And then I think like Tywin made him kiss.
I think they're making fun of Argo.
Yeah, that's right. Tywin made him kiss.
Yeah, and tell them to like love each other forever.
Now kiss,
hold hands, and skip around in circles at the camp. So now she gets another message to go to the armory. Somebody needs a sword.
Yeah, I forget the dude's
Sir
name.
Lionel.
They say like,
Sir Lionel
I was
needs
gonna say
it.
they say it like 15 times.
Yep.
Yeah, Sir Lionel.
So she pops down there and she sees they've got a bunch of forges. Yeah, dude. By the way, very quick. We don't have to spend Forged in Fire. Great show.
Great show.
Great show.
There's another show that's like
third
that.
show.
It will kill.
There's YouTube channels that are like that too that are pretty good because they don't have the bullshit commercials.
Forged in Fire is just good though.
It would kill.
It will kill.
He is a little bit lame, but like
It cuts.
it will kill.
Fuck that show. Fake drama, bullshit. Get that out of
That's why the
here.
YouTubers are better. but
The
yeah.
actual
Oh no,
art,
he broke his knife and there's 10 minutes left. Oh no,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen?
but the actual like watching of the forging is really cool.
yeah, I mean it's a neat hobby, sure.
The Asian, it will kill. He's a little weird and like, all right, we get it.
It's so TV. That's all I hate about it.
All right.
It's very TV.
But it's
still
very
fun to
cool.
watch.
It's one of the things where I was like, I could like that'd be a cool hobby. Like I could pick that up, and it's obviously way harder than just like something you can pick up, and you need way more equipment than you.
Yeah,
can
I think
even
it's
imagine.
super expensive just based on the equipment, right?
Yeah,
You need that
but
big thing that just hammers for you. Unless you
I
want
mean,
to do
you
a
could do
Gendry
it by
style.
hand if you wanted, but so
badass.
all right, back to it. She sees Gendry.
Like Tony,
in one of
I
these
just think of Tony
forges,
Stark
and-
when he's like making his fucking Iron Man suit in the cave.
in the
like,
cave.
yeah. Tony Stark made this in a cave with a box of scraps. I'm not Tony
All
Stark.
right, so she sees Gendry. Go talk about this conversation a little bit.
And she's about to ask where the head forgeman is because she needs a sword for Lionel, and Gendry just cuts her off and is like,
Fuck Lionel.
Did you yell Winterfell? Because
Like,
Hot Pie
Hot
knows you yell Winterfell.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I didn't. What's Hot Pie talking about? He's like, well, I told him.
Winterfell!
Don't worry. I told him that he said go to hell. She's
You
like,
were yelling stuff too,
Everybody was
Gendry.
yelling
Like
stuff.
everybody was yelling shit.
Hot Pie
So
yelled
what?
Hot Pie.
It's a pretty good like Winterfell go to hell.
Yeah, it's not
like
bad.
that's pretty
It's a good
good. I
cover.
don't know like how long he had to think of like how can I cover up Winterfell, but go to hell
is a
is
good
a
one.
pretty good one.
And then she immediately goes, "That would have been fucking stupid if I would have said go to hell. Why would I
Yeah.
say go
in
to
her
hell?"
head though, she doesn't say that aloud. She's like,
I
"That
know,
would've
but like
been fucking
that's like the
stupid."
dumbest thing ever. It's like,
She's
all right,
wrong.
he just covered your ass.
Yeah, he covered her ass. Well, she did say before she walked up and talked to him, she was a little pissed at him because it seemed like she hasn't talked to him since they got caught. She's like, I don't even like him because
Yeah.
he's the one that got us caught. So like, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I feel like
No,
the
I don't-
ex has
I mean,
been here a
it's-
while, but
It
maybe
says
To
no.
be
she
honest,
didn't
like,
know
he's probably
she
been in
wanted
the forge.
to go see him, so she
Yeah.
still wanted to see him. She missed him.
Yeah,
No, she said she didn't know that she even wanted to talk to him. It was his fault they'd all been caught.
yeah. But then
So
the next
she was
conversation,
mad.
then
I
immediately
think it
they're
was-
talking, right?
Yeah,
She
Yeah,
still
I don't know
wanted
they're
to talk to
talking.
him.
Yeah,
She might
I
have
think
wanted
she
to.
did.
I don't. It's a unknown. I would say she didn't want to because she was probably angry. They
Surface
probably
level.
haven't seen each other much because he's probably been banging on a hammer a
And
lot.
she's
you know,
she's
and
probably
running
doing her
around.
thing.
So
Yeah.
And
She's
and I
cleaning
think she
steps.
knew that she had a connection there, that she could say, "Hey, where's Lucan or whatever his name is?"
Yep.
Mhm. So she ends up getting a sword from that guy, and then she's now running around with Sir Lionel's sword.
It's heavier
and she
than
also-
needle, but she likes it.
Yeah,
Makes her
She
feel a little
feel in her
stronger.
hand.
she feels like a boss.
Yeah.
But she also still has because who's the
Maybe
guy?
she's not a water
Lauren.
dancer.
Who's the guy that runs the forge or the armory?
Lucan.
Lucan.
Lucan. He can't even read, right? So he
Yeah.
looked at the little slip with the mark of whoever on it,
And just
Tywin
believe
or
whatever
Reese.
Arya told it
So
said.
she's like, "Wow, I've got the golden ticket right now."
Yeah, she's like, I can just go to the stable. I got the sword. I can go to the stables, do the same thing with the stable boys, get a horse, and just be out. If the guards stop me, I could just say I'm taking it to Sir Lionel.
Yeah,
We kind of skipped the part here where she thought for a second
Let's tell Hot Pie's name to Jackin.
maybe I could.
That might be a good idea.
fuck Hot Pie.
She's ruthless, man.
We skipped it because that's a
Spur the moon.
spoiler. That's her third name.
Kill all witnesses, I guess, but like
Anyone
he
that
seems
knows
low,
that she's
small
Arya.
fry. She could kill him, I think.
So she hears some more Rob rumors and chatter as she's running around. I don't have it down what
There
it
was
is.
giants from beyond the wall that were following him. It was unnatural how they came in the nighttime. He's more wolf than he is man. All the Starks are. someone says shit on the Wolves and the Giants, the boy would piss himself if he knew it was coming. He wasn't man enough to march on Harrenhal, but ran the other way. He will run now if he knows what's best for him. And then someone's like, maybe he does something we don't know. Maybe we should be the ones running. And Arya likes the second and fourth. Yeah, she's like, yeah, we're fucking Wolves, and yeah, you should be fucking running. Get the fuck out of here,
bitches! Here we come! Here we come!
And it's not really important, but it is to this chapter and Arya. But we skipped the part where Weiss had promised her like a pigeon or a bird. Like, because she came through in the clutch, because one of these letters that the knight pretty much told her to go fuck herself to pay Weiss, like, he's like, yeah, I'm not paying him. And she stole from him and ran and brought him some money or a cup or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And he said, good job.
I'll give you this chicken.
You'll be rewarded.
Yep.
And then later on he forgets. He immediately forgets pretty much that he promised her this prize.
Well, it's right here, I think, right? He basically comes up on her.
that's what reminded me.
She's wondering about stealing a horse and all that, and that's when Weiss comes up and is like, what the fuck are you doing? What's taking you so long? Get that sword out of here. And hits her a couple times, right?
Bang. Slaps her. Right across the face.
And sends her off on mission number 2. Now she's got to go find some dude named Tuffleberry.
In the brew house. And
he has 24 barrels that of mead for him.
Right?
It's weird. I don't understand. Why are you sending...
It was worded really weird.
I think it sounds like Weiss is sending barrels to the brew house. It doesn't make sense.
They're probably empty.
Okay.
Okay.
Sense. Well, no, because he says he better come get him or else somebody else is going to get the ale.
Yeah.
I was confused by it. It seems like
maybe
should be coming
I'll find someone else who wants them worse.
Maybe they need to send the empty barrels down to fill, or someone else's barrels will get filled before them if they're on if they have a high demand or a low supply of ale.
I thought about this and then I was like, it doesn't fucking matter. There's some barrel transfers going on here. Somebody wants something.
It doesn't matter.
And Tuffleberry's like, fuck Weiss, like come get your own barrels.
Hold on, there's a lot that happens before that, right? So she's like. Basically, Weiss forgets about the chicken, like Kyle said. She's thinking, there's no way he remembers. No.
Not yet.
But she, like, slaps him. And she's like, go hurry up and do this. And she, like, starts jogging away, but she's not fast enough. He's like, get the fuck out of here if you want to eat tonight or something like that. And she's like, wow, he forgot already.
You'll run if you want to eat tonight.
Yeah, she's like, wow, he fucking forgot already. So she's like, you know what? She's like, that's it. We're finding Jacket ASAP. She's like, the gods must have guided my steps. Roar's right around the corner.
Runs on the Roar.
Has a pretty... Yikes conversation.
I'm gonna rape you,
little cunt.
Oh, I think I owe you a fucking with that stick of yours.
So this is Yorick also finding out that she's a girl, right? That's part of this. Why he's saying you're a cunt. Now we know why Yoren
was. That's why Yoren was keeping you around
because she was a boy when he knew her before, right?
I think he was. Yeah, I think he was gonna fuck her with the. Was it the wooden sword?
Her wooden stick. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was needle. I get it now. Okay. Yeah. Not important. Again, not important.
The manner of her sodomization.
Jeez. Getting all technical over here. Yeah, so
he says, guess we know why they wanted you on the black wall, or on the wall. Why the black bastard... Guess we know why that black bastard... Bleh. Now we know... Or, what did I say? Fuck
me. Nelson moment right there.
Jeez. It's something about the black bastard on the wall.
Well, no, yeah. So I wanted to say, like, what does that mean? Guess we know why that black bastard wanted you on the wall.
There's no other girls on the wall. Because he was
going to go, like, he inferred that he was banging Arya.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's how I got it, yeah.
That's how I got it, yeah.
So, yeah, basically, he's like, I promised to fuck you with that sword. Now I'll come through with it now that we're together again. And she's like, wait a minute, I saved you. And he's like, I owe you another fucking for that. And he asks, which hole you're in light in a weird way. And then she basically just like, I'm looking for Jackin.
Yeah.
And that's when Rourke's like, whoa, oh shit. Yeah, Rourke's in the bathhouse.
Jackin's in the
bathhouse.
Yeah.
And I need to go that way. Quickly.
Well, he's like, get the fuck out of my way. Yeah, he gets the fuck out of there.
Yeah, he's like, I have somewhere I need to be immediately.
Which, again, I wonder, like, if they are... Maybe they don't know the exact deal, but, like, maybe there was some type of threat between Jack and, like, hey, you better leave her alone, or she has some power to make me do whatever I want right now type thing. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Or maybe, like, they're just that scared of Jackin because he seems like a powerful guy.
I mean, they were chained up right next to him. He was probably weird as fuck. Jackin seems like a weirdo.
They all does seem like a weird fucking guy.
Yeah, I mean, Roar doesn't even have a nose. We glossed over, but he's wearing, like, an eye patch over his nose right now because he's this big hole where his nose used to be.
So she goes to see Jackin, and she tries to sneak up on him, but Weirdo's like, a man hears.
Steals it on little mice feet, but a man hears.
Syrio.
Yep. How could he hear? She wondered. It seems so weird. She's just thinking it to herself. And he.
How about the little pro tip though?
He like
little pro tip from
reads her
Jackin.
mind, right?
Go barefoot, you dumbass.
Yeah, that's just a PUBG pro tip. If you're not barefoot, you're a fool.
Yeah. See,
Now in PUBG, your feet are slapping. It doesn't make it
Yeah,
quiet.
but the feet are
That's
like.
what I was thinking of, like in real
You
life.
sound like
though,
a duck running around.
That's not
in
true.
PUBG. I always was
So
barefoot.
Word
There's
matters
probably-
sound in PUBG and Sea of Thieves. Facts.
Facts.
So facts.
That's why I just go bandage feet and SOT.
Guys, best game in the past 5 years,
PUBG.
definitely Warzone.
That's,
I was gonna say that just to piss you guys off the other day.
I mean, I enjoyed Warzone
I would
for
just
its
know
time.
that's
Yeah, I don't, it's not the best
PUBG
game.
is.
When me and Nelson would go deep into Gulag beers, it was fun.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, it was so much fun. That's why you guys are missing out.
You don't
It's,
understand.
we're not
PUBG
missing out because you guys are lame now with it.
The
Like,
thing is, like,
How?
if I never played PUBG,
not the same.
maybe I put Warzone at A tier. But the fact that I've played PUBG, that just sets a bar, and it's just like Warzone
Yeah.
is like nothing compared to
no
I don't
no
like PUBG.
battle royale has come close to PUBG. It is not even close. It's not even close.
I don't like PUBG.
And it was the original too. That's what's crazy.
Like,
H1Z1,
even-
I don't know. I never played that game, but I feel like that was a battle royale.
Even with all of its like glitchiness and getting kicked out of games and all of the negatives, the long list of negatives about the game game itself is so much better than any battle royale.
the fact that like we're getting literally kicked out of literally 50% of the games half the time, like it just crashes in the middle of it. Of a PvP game where like you've put 20 minutes into this thing and it just crashes, and we're like trying to get back in and playing, and like we don't immediately just go away from that game and play something else.
The
fact
cool
that
thing
we
is
don't-
you could come
I'm
back
just saying
in.
the fact that we don't just stop playing that game because of issues like that just shows
Yeah.
how good it is, right?
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Wait, you guys still play it?
I'd love to. I can't get Nelson back in it.
I can't play sticks anymore. It's not
Nelson can't
crossplay.
play on the stick, so he's got to, and it's not crossplay.
All right,
So
we're
he's either
playing
got to
Warzone
buy me a
after
PC
this,
or
huh?
not. I'd like to play. I still enjoy playing Warzone.
I'm buying
it's
Jeff
not like I
a
don't.
PC for
but,
his wedding gift.
PUBG is
All right,
such
back
a
on
good
track
game.
though.
So she whispers another name to Jackin.
Please.
But there's a little maid there. She's afraid she's gonna hear, so she gets nice and close and whispers it.
And Jackin's like, tell the lordship a man shall attend him at his pleasure. And he's just like floating in this big pool.
Splashes at her.
And she gets out. That's it.
Bang. Out, back to Weiss.
Back
Sends
to
him-
barrel guy.
She goes to the barrel guy. We know that he's like, fuck Weiss. Like, tell him to bring his own men to get the barrels.
Yeah, send his own
Bring
men
the
with
barrels.
So
then
yeah,
she
we don't
goes
really know
back.
which way the barrel situation is kind of weird, but yeah.
He needs ale.
They're either empty or filled.
Yeah,
One
whatever.
of the two.
But Weiss's men are now in charge of bringing them, whichever way they're going. Yeah, so Weiss gets the message from him. He's pissed as well, but he ends up doing it, sends the men for the barrels. That night
She's
for
ready
dinner,
for dinner.
she gets some shitty stew. And she's just looking at him eat this fucking
Pissed.
nice chicken the
Oh,
whole
man.
time, sharing it with this lady who's been sleeping in his bed. She also got even a little nibble of cheese. And at the end,
dude,
there's a
she's
few
no,
bites
she's
left.
Be staring.
Blue
She got
cheese.
the
I know.
nice little blue cheese,
I know.
dude. I got the hankering for blue cheese, just like
I
we
know,
did when
dude,
the
it's so
Packers
good.
lost in the.
That's so weird. You guys have hankering
You
for
don't,
blue
dude.
cheese?
I'll go to the store. I won't. I've never done this, but I would like just go to the store and buy a fucking block of blue cheese and just like eat that as a snack. If it wasn't just like
Dude,
if
that's
that wouldn't kill
disgusting.
me. As
We
a
were-
habit.
I don't think
What
I
do
could eat it plain.
Blue cheese is
I
we were
like
just
blue cheese.
we were
I
just
need
crackering it,
buffalo
and dude,
wings.
that shit was
I need
good.
wings.
I mean, I love blue cheese and wings, but like
blue cheese dressing is good, but like blue cheese.
like a good
Crumbles
block of blue
on a
cheese,
salad?
not a
Blue cheese
crumble, like a
crumble,
where
though.
you can like scoop it. It's like almost a little bit soft that you can scoop it like
I like brie
like a
more
brie.
than that.
Brie's good too, but blue cheese has the flavor. Like there's
I like
good
brie more than
flavor.
Blue
Blue
cheese.
cheese.
Blue cheese.
What
I
were you
don't like
saying?
the
There's like
flavor
that.
of blue
There's that
cheese.
movie with the hunting dogs, where like the father and the son, they find out that they're father and son because they both are the only people in town that like love blue cheese. They literally order it by the pound into this weird like
I don't
Alaskan
know.
town.
Never seen it.
You have seen it. We were talking about it that night when we were eating blue cheese.
So she gets back and
Tell us in the comments.
She's staring at him for that fucking bird.
She's just
Yeah,
grilling
she's
him the
pissed.
whole time. And Weiss finally takes notice of her grilling her
there's a few bites left on the bone. He's on the wing.
And he calls her forward, right? He calls her forward,
and she thinks that he remembered. He's like, "Oh fuck, shit, I forgot." He did remember. But she's been kind of giving him bad looks all day, and he's warned her once or twice. So we probably skimmed over it, but he's like, "I've had enough. No more bad looks." He pushes her down, right?
Gets slapped.
Slaps her, grabs her neck, slaps her, pushes her down. She rips her pants. She's like, "You're gonna fix that
wipes his gross ass hands on her."
How about this though? When she's like, "Oh shit," he remembered that he's about to share dinner. She feels bad about saying his name to Jackin. She's like, "Oh fuck, maybe I should keep Weiss."
Yeah, but probably not for very long.
Then he beats it, and then he throws her down.
Yeah. Wipes his grubby ass, greasy fingers all over her.
Yep, and gives the bone to his dog.
Mm-hmm.
Human serviette.
So she heads back to sleep.
She's whispering her list. Weiss is the first name. She's thinking how long she's going to have to do it. Dunson, Polliver, Raff, the Sweetling. Those people she said earlier, we might have glossed over it. They're leaving. She knows they're leaving. And she's like, fuck, I lost my chance. I'm not going to be able to use my names on these cats anymore.
But then she's also like, oh, fuck. I actually fucked up.
Well, not yet, right? So she's still going to bed doing her list. She's got the tickler. So to end her list off, she does the Tickler and the Hound, Sir Gregor, Sir Armory, Sir Ilan, Sir Marin, King Joffrey, Queen Cersei. Just so we all remember the list.
Deep. That is a deep
long list.
Dude, it was long, dude.
And she goes to sleep.
Kyle, by the end of next Arya chapter, you have to memorize all the
you
names.
have to go to bed every night saying that list.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeff and Nelson and Glow. Jeff and Nelson and Glow.
Easy
Jeff
list.
and Nelson and Glow.
There you go.
So she goes to bed. She's like, man, I hope maybe Weiss will be dead when I wake up. But nope, Weiss gives her a little kick with the boot.
Weiss wakes her up. Yep, with his boot.
That fucker Jackin fooled me. He played me.
Well, no, I don't know. I don't think she thinks that, right? She knows it takes time, I think.
Well, I mean, we don't know.
But when she goes to bed, she's like,
how long did the first kill happen?
Well, when she goes to bed, she says, I wonder how much longer I'll have to include Weiss in my prayer. So she knows it might be a few days, whatever. And because Jackin said a man will attend it on his pleasure.
Yeah, and then she said, not from you, she didn't say it.
Yeah,
she
so
thought like
this
he's
is
like,
breakfast
this
now,
place
right?
isn't getting any smaller. Like you got shit to do. You better be listening. You're gonna learn what work is. And she said, not from you.
Yeah, so
like mentally.
Yeah, so this is the day they're waking up. Weiss is telling them all Tywin is leaving today. And but he basically then gets into what Kyle said. It's not gonna make anything any easier. It just means less hands for the same amount of work. It's gonna be bad for you. You're gonna learn what work. And she's just thinking to herself.
Yep.
So just slug a bed.
Two names that are heading out with Tywin that she mentions is Mountain and Polliver. They're like the caboose of the host.
And Kevin Lannister is next to Tywin in the train.
Next to Tywin.
Who's Kevin?
Cavan.
Cavan.
Yeah, not Cavan. Not even close to being Cavan. The fact that you're still hanging on to Cavan is crazy.
It's gonna be.
So they're walking
when
out.
When he dies was when that'll die.
And this is when the epiphany hits Arya, Jeff.
Oh my god. I wasted two names.
No, a single name.
Well, no, she says both of them.
Really?
Chiswick and Weiss, neither of these people matter. These are the people I'm looking at now.
More than
these are the
Chiswick
guys.
had. You're right.
These are the ones that mattered, right? Because again, Chiswick was just kind of one of the mountain cronies who, again, he was a douchebag, deserved to die. He was laughing about a gang rape that he was involved in. Fucked up, deserved to die. But in the grand scheme of things, like in terms of turning tides of the war, yeah, Kevin and Tywin probably would have been better choices, right? So Arya's realizing this. I think we mentioned this in the last one. What I think is interesting is when she thinks like the people that I chose didn't matter. I should have chose Tywin. Tywin is actually one person that's not on her list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is like
that's probably why she's never even like.
That's why he hasn't been an option.
She hasn't really run into him, right? So like,
yeah,
other than the
she has
fact
no bad
that
beef
she
with him,
hates the Lannister,
exactly.
Yeah.
But like, she's like,
But
she's
like,
in hell
Tyrion's
right
not
now.
on our
She's
list.
like a fucking.
I'm just
prisoner.
saying.
And,
again,
yeah.
I'm not trying to kind of like the Theon thing. I'm not saying it makes sense, but like if you're Arya and you literally like you're a kid and you have a list of names of people you want to kill.
Yeah.
And someone comes up to you and you're like, I have 3 people. I'll kill 3 people for you. You're like, okay, that's perfect. I have a fucking list, right? You don't think like, hold on, is there a person?
I've been waiting for this.
Is there exactly?
Really?
It's like perfect. You don't
This is
think
exactly what I would
obviously
need.
you're just gonna work down that list. You don't. That kid's
But
not
what
gonna go
pisses
think
me
like, oh,
off
you know what?
is
What
the
would be
mountain is
strategically
on our
best?
list. The mountain is on the list. Like,
but it's also to the like
that's a
point
fucking
where
great
like
name to pick.
you
He's
have like let's just put it
badass.
into the terms of a 9-year-old. You have 10 toys that you really want, but your mom can say you can only bring 3. Probably not the easiest of choices either. Like if you were just going to pick from your list. So,
well, and this is when it finally the real world kind of finally hits her, right? Like she understands that this is bigger than just her and just her list.
Exactly. Her list is based on emotion, and she like what she's now realizing is like, okay, it's bigger than emotion. It's not personal, it's business, right? At this point, it's business, and this was not a good business decision.
But
what I made.
we kind of had this discussion the last Arya chapter when like, would she pick Tywin? Like, is that honorable?
I think you said that last chapter because you were saying like she's all about this. Who sings the sentences? Who what the Ned thing, right? Who assigns a sentence to swing the sword. And
does she know that saying?
Yeah, she definitely does. So. And you said that last chapter, Colin. I thought it was a good point, but I didn't think anything, knowing that in this chapter she's going to think like, oh, I should have killed Tywin. Because I think you're like, oh, because I brought it up. I was like, well, shouldn't she kill Tywin? And you're like, oh, she wouldn't do that because it's not the Ned way. But I knew in this chapter she thought like, oh, you know what? I probably should have just done that. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, but I still think like that was her reasoning behind not picking him.
Well, at the same time, she's doing it to Weiss and Chiswick. She's not swinging the sword.
I think that's exactly the same thing I said to you in the last one.
It.
It's like how, I get that it's like a different tier of like person, but like the principle is the same. She's still not swinging the sword, which is why, how does the frag count work? Jaqen gets him, right? We decided that last chapter.
Jaqen,
Arya
gets
she's nothing.
Not swinging the sword.
Yep.
You guys didn't give it to Theon, so.
Yeah. All right, so she wants to run and change her name. She's like, fuck, I wasted it. Let me go find Jaqen and change this up.
I got kicked it. Hold on. You guys know I'm not skipping past all these fucking sigils.
Dude, there's so many. That's why
Red Ox, House Prester, Golden Mountain, House Lefford, Purple Unicorn, House Brax, Bantam Rooster, House Swift, Brindled Boar, House Crakehall, Badger, House Leiden. We've heard about all of those before. Then we get into some weird ones. A Silver Ferret, House Farron, a Juggler and Motley, House Farwell, Stars, House Peckleton, Sunburst, House Kenning of Case, Peacock, House Serret, Panther, House Perrin, Chevron and Dagger, House Foot, Black Hood, House Benfort, Blue Beetle, House Bentley, Green Arrow, House Starsfield. However...
Did you say House Benford?
Baneford and House Bentley. However, the last 3... Black Hood, Blue Beetle, and Green Arrow are all DC heroes. George is a big comic book fan, and he threw these in here to be as like a little nod to DC heroes.
Only person that matters is Batman.
Say him again. Green Arrow and what?
Green Arrow, you knew that. Blue Beetle, I don't know who that is. It sounds like a stupid guy. I guess he's like a Flash. He's like buddies with the Flash.
Moon Knight.
And Black Hood. Black Hood sounds like he could be a Moon Knight, a friend of Moon Knight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you can't Iron Man.
Yeah, like they all sound stupid until you see him in action. You know what I mean?
Spider-Man.
Ant-Man's badass. Blue Beetle, who knows? He could be awesome. Ant-Man's
Beetle's
hilarious.
Batman's the only one that matters.
Back to just a little bit before when you said
he just
we can't skip these names. I totally skipped these names.
Disregard him. He's talking shit on Spider-Man right now.
fuck Marvel. So
go Kyle.
So when I read this, I was like, you know what? I don't need to care about who any of these fucking people are because I'm gonna hear about it later. Yep. And I'm gonna get it explained to me. Yeah. so I'm glad you went back and did that because.
Yeah, most of these we're hearing. It's the first time we hear these houses, and it might be the last. I'm not sure. I've never taken notes on the book like this before, so I don't know if they pop up again. But yeah, the first like 6 we know of. House Press, like there's characters. We know of,
but I didn't care.
Well, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I was like, I know I got it.
The other thing
encyclopedia.
I think you probably would have recognized even some of the house names, like Crakehall, Swift.
Yeah, I've heard of Crakehall. Yeah,
right. Brax. I don't know if you know all of them, but like you probably heard of some of them. But they don't even give you that. They give you the sigil, which I didn't even know for a lot of these. Right. I had to go look this up. So, but yeah, I also like when I was looking it up, I was like, these are like, why are they like Black Hood, Blue Beetle? Those are such weird. And I looked it up and it's like, yeah, they're DC heroes.
Who's Black Hood?
I don't know, dude. Google it. That's Tom.
All right, moving on.
Like DC wise.
Moving on.
A hero?
Moving on. Bang! Ah! That's literally what happened.
Yeah, she's running. She's on the way, and then she hears somebody screaming in pain.
I don't think anyone was screaming in pain. I think people were screaming at the fact that someone just...
A shriek of pain and fear.
Yeah, I'm going to say he was dead. I don't think it was his pain.
A shriek of pain and fear.
Fear might be the other people, but pain, I would say, is Weiss. She rolls up, and what's it look like? Weiss was sprawled out across the cobbles, his throat a red ruin, eyes gaping slightly up at a bank of gray cloud.
So if he got his throat slit, he wasn't fucking screaming.
His ugly gray spotted dog on his chest, lapping at the blood pulsing from his neck, and every so often ripping a mouthful of flesh from a dead man's face. You think he got his neck slit?
I think did he not feed the dog? Like, how's the dog that hungry?
That's what the next guy says, right? The guy's like, why the fuck did this dog do that? Like, he's had the dog
he raised him from a pup.
Hungry dogs got to eat.
I took it as a dog killed him.
Didn't he used to feed the dog like people or something? Or not people, but like I feel like
they mentioned
he let the dog
before.
bite people and stuff, right?
They mentioned it before, but I don't think that...
He said the dog was aggressive as Weiss.
Like, yeah, so I think he like taught this dog to bite people, and now he's dead. And like, if you die and your cat's in your house, your cat's gonna eat you, right?
Yeah.
You think his dog just eating him?
I don't think the dog ate him.
I feel like that's what Jeff was saying too.
I don't think the dog did it. I think the dog's just eating him.
Jackin did it. You fucking ding dong. Why? How would the dog just do this?
I don't know. I know the dog did it, but I guess it makes sense. Just because what the guy said. Of course the dog's going to eat a dead guy.
The guy just showed up and sees this dog eating this guy, and like,
you're right.
He assumed that's what happened.
Said that. Oh, no. It was somebody else who said that, but yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. You're right. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the guy saw it. But yeah, I always assume the dog did it, but who knows? I guess it makes more sense the other way. I don't think he did it.
I think he's just chowing down.
There's a scene in Peaky Blinders where I'm going to keep names anonymous because Glow hasn't seen it yet, but one character
I'm not going to watch
kills another character, and then a dog starts... the other character has a dog with him, and his own dog starts licking his blood immediately once his head's shot off.
Yeah, you think Luke wouldn't eat your bones? You feed him raw meat all the time.
100% he would. I'm glad he would.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm glad he would. I've actually thought about this a lot.
That's the weird part. Like, if he's hungry enough, yeah, he's going to eat your bones.
A hungry dog is going to eat.
It doesn't even need to be hungry, man. It's instinct.
He would eat him.
I think he would eat me too. But I'm okay with it.
Right away, or would he wait a little bit?
I think he'd eat me
I think he would lick up your blood.
He would eat him.
It depends on if there's meat sticking out. Like, it's like... It's different to go through the skin, I think, right? Sure.
You could put food out, right? I could feed my dog dinner, and then 20 minutes later, I could drop a piece of meat on the floor, and he's going to eat it.
That only goes to a point. Luke will stop eating.
What if you drop your finger? Is he going to eat your finger?
I don't think he would stop eating.
He does. I give Luke as much food as he wants.
I'm not saying Luke. I'm saying that like it's like this is a thing dog would do. Would eat until they die, pretty much.
I give my dog as much food as he wants, and he stops eating. I give him more. Like, he'll leave some in the bowl and he'll walk away, and then I put the meat away because I can't leave the meat out or it goes bad. So I give him a lot of food. He eats until there's a little bit left, or until he's full, and I put the meat away.
Okay.
Sometimes he crushes it all, and sometimes I'll give him a little bit more.
I think. But sometimes it was just the opportunity presented itself, so the dog's eating.
Luke's a growing young boy, so it's okay.
He's like, oh, blood, sweet, and then he licks it up. You know?
I think because he eats meat, he has that wolf instinct where it's like, I eat food, I might not have like.
Nelson, you're getting eaten by Luke. If he didn't have food and your dead body was there, you're eating.
No, Kyle's saying he's going to eat all 250 pounds of me at once.
I'm not saying that.
You are. You're saying the dog just eats till he dies is what you're saying if he had the opportunity. That's not true, is what I'm saying.
That's not what I meant. I might have said that, but that's not how I meant it.
I knew what you meant, Kyle.
Instinct, he's going to eat your face. I agree. Luke would eat my face. Moving on.
I think if you died with your throat gutted open... And he had just eaten dinner, right?
He's sipping.
I think
he'd
give you a little taste. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he would just continue, consume you immediately.
Yeah, gotcha. I agree. I think Luke would eat me too over time. For sure.
So people are blaming the ghost of Heron.
One of them is Good Wife Annabelle, who again is just a minor character, but she is the one who I think Arya backtalked to when they were assigning roles. She was gonna go to the kitchen.
Oh, she's the one that assigned her to Weiss,
you know what? Right? Fuck you. You're going to Weiss. Exactly. So it's kind of cool. Just kind of funny that she's here when Weiss dies, full circle. So she's like, I'm not staying here. She's the one that says, I'm not staying here one more night. I swear to God. And she's like, I'm out. This is the ghost of Harrenhal. And Arya looks up from the body and Jackin is standing right there, which I guess makes sense to you guys.
He's being a boss, you know.
And he said 2, yeah.
Yep, number 2.
Just slyly puts.
He did this.
Slyly puts 2 fingers in front of his face so that Arya sees it.
Yeah.
Does the old roar.
He does it in a non-sexual way. It's on his cheek, not his mouth. Jeff.
What?
But yeah,
I'm giving Kyle credit for that.
All right, Kyle, what do we think? Who's the third?
For the kill?
Well, we think the
Kyle
chapter,
for
I
the
guess.
kill.
What we talk about the chapter overall, but predictions-wise, the obvious one's who's the third kill.
So here's where we're at, right? So everybody else left, pretty much.
Except for
Vargo Hote's
Amory's
gonna be
men
there.
and Vargo Hote's men.
Who? Amory?
Amory Lorch, who, like, Jaqen is one
Amory,
of his
whatever,
men.
however you say it. Yeah. Yeah, so Amory seems to be a little higher up, but Vargo has a little bit more
Pep in his step.
No, reputation. However, I think she kind of learned from this to not use it on small fries. So maybe Amory. Was he the one that killed Yoren?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think Amory's leading the way,
He's
but I mean, maybe she.
List, right?
Isn't that kind of an emotional kill though? Like just
No, he's like a general at this point. He's a dude that's going out and doing war. Whereas these other guys are small fry. Weiss is just. Then I was thinking that the whole time I was reading this kind of. It's like, man, you're gonna kill Weiss, and he's gonna be replaced by the next asshole, right? Like everybody there is gonna treat her like shit. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be Weiss. It could be fucking.
Good Wife Annabelle.
I don't know.
Whoever.
I can't think of a
Lucan.
dumb George name. It'd be like Georgia or something. Whatever. He takes like an actual name and just makes it stupid. But
just replace an I with a Y in any name and you're good.
Yeah. Nelson.
Exactly.
Lord Nelson is gonna kill him. No, he's gonna be replaced, right? So you're right. That's not a big deal. But he's not a big deal. Using the name on him is a wrong move. So I think she's going to think about that a lot more. So I don't know if she's going to kill Amory, but if it's isolated to who's in the castle, I think he's probably the best one. But can she use it outside the castle? I don't know. I mean, maybe does she say Tywin? And then what?
And
what happens with Jack?
Yeah, I guess. So
I don't know. I don't know the rules of this engagement, I guess. So I mean, if it's anybody anywhere in the realm, I mean, could she say Danny and he's like got to go fucking dig off across the sea? I don't know.
That would be interesting as fuck. I hope we get some Jack and Hagar chapters if that happens. I will say that something I didn't think about is like this killing of Weiss probably would have been like super satisfying for Arya if she didn't just have this epiphany that it doesn't matter at all. You know what I mean? Like sometimes ignorance is bliss.
She would have enjoyed
if Arya just like didn't ever have that thought and she just like saw Weiss die, she'd have been like, oh my God, that was so good. That guy fucking deserved it. But then the next day she would have woken up and realized everything you just said. There's just another asshole who's in charge of me, right? So it's a good thing she had the epiphany, but it does make like the satisfaction of the moment.
I don't know if that was us that had this discussion, but and the next asshole is probably dumber and meaner.
George doesn't make him smarter and nicer.
Well, no, I'm not even saying that though. There's a reason this guy got to where he is, right? So the next guy in line is probably not nearly as smart as him,
not as capable. Weiss was the most capable.
So it's just getting. Actually, I think it was in like a thread about like Putin and killing Putin's generals or whatever, or him getting rid of his cabinet, and so like the next guys are going to be even more, more fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with the news, but makes sense.
I don't know. I don't know who she kills. I guess obviously want it to be their Tywin, right? Tywin Lannister. The Mountain would be a good one. I don't think it's going to be him. I feel like he makes it.
I was gonna say, I think your predictions did. We don't have to linger on it anymore. I have another prediction. I have another prediction question to ask you. Yep. Next prediction is what's up with like the Rob Tywin thing? How's that go down? Like we hear Tywin's leaving, like that in terms of like big picture stuff. Let's talk big picture now.
I mean, so if it was in a vacuum and shit wasn't about to go down up north, right? So where should it sat in the timeline? Jeff's favorite
timeline doesn't matter. Don't worry about that.
Kim, what do you want this compared to?
To the last chapter.
This is after Oxcross, so after like it's about the same time as like the most recent Tyrion chapters we're hearing, right? Because they're both getting news of the Rob stuff. Arya's not getting the clear news, but she's getting the same type of news. So around the same time as that, the most recent Bran chapter as well. The only chapters that are really past this are the most recent Theon one that we just did, and Jon, who's like way ahead because he's in a completely different world. But yeah, this is pretty much like up to date with everything that's going on.
But the timeline doesn't matter. So say whatever you want.
It does. It does matter for this because I just explained why it does. Because if Rob's in the middle of this fight with Tywin and then he gets word about back home, like then what happens?
Okay, understood.
But
so what happens?
I mean, I feel like Rob's got the advantage currently.
No, it's how far of a travel for Tywin to get to where Rob's
A
at
long
right now.
travel.
Riverrun to Harrenhal is actually not super far, right?
He's
not
not
at
even
Riverrun.
at Riverrun. He's farther west.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it's a little bit further for sure. I feel like Riverrun's a problem though. I mean, I guess you could go south of Riverrun to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
I mean, I think Rob's got the upper hand. That's where I'm at now. I don't know that it's gonna be an outright victory. Like, I don't want to say that. Like, I don't want to insinuate that even. Like, Rob's probably gonna lose some important people. But I think Rob's gonna come out of that one ahead.
all right, I like it.
All right.
That's what we're all hoping for, of course.
Bye, Kyle.
We'll see Kyle in the next one, and I think Catelyn. I think is the next one Catelyn. I'm not sure what the next one is.
Yes.
And then it's Catelyn 4 or 5.
2 days ride from Riverrun.
Catelyn's on the run.
Wow, Kyle spoiler section.
Kyle's
You can cut that out.
Reading the first line of the
Cut that out.
Big spoiler.
Everybody that's listening,
Catelyn 5.
I
Catelyn
guarantee you
5.
none of them are following along one chapter at a
No,
time.
they're reading chapter at a time, Kyle. One
Somebody
week at a
might
time.
be.
Just like
The
you.
ones I know are not.
Just like you. All right. Bye, Kyle.
See Cal.
Bye, guys. Bye, Kyle.
Later, nerds.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! See you later, Cal. It was great hanging out, bud. We'll see you on the next episode for Catelyn 5. But now, on to the spoiler section for Arya 8. Boys, what are your hot takes for this?
Is this the worst spoiler section ever?
There's not really much. We're going to
There's
be short
really
because we've already
nothing.
been recording for a long time tonight. I didn't really have anything. One thing I'll say is I think it was definitely a dog that killed Weiss.
I just don't think.
Wait, what does it say again?
He's going to control the dog to kill him. I truly think he slit his throat, tossed him off, whatever he was
His neck is a
on.
mess.
The reason
say
I think the dog's
His
literally
throat
taking.
is red. They say his throat is red.
The reason I think it was a dog is there's a part where Arya is at the House of Black and White where she's learning about like a bunch of different poisons from the waif, and the only poisons we hear of are like poisons we know of. Like she tells like an in-depth description of the Strangler and an in-depth description of like milk of the poppy, something else, right? And then she gives like there's like the third one is an in-depth description of baskless blood, which is something you give to animals and it makes them just uncontrollably attack whatever's near them.
All right.
And I just don't understand the point of that without the.
With that, I'm not going to say like, no, it's definitely not, but it sounded like he slit his throat and like pushed him down, right? Like he fell.
So his throat a red ruin. So I could kind of see that.
His throat
Nelson,
was a
I can
red
see where you're
ruin?
yeah, I could see where you're coming from then.
The other thing, one other big spoiler here, and not really a spoiler, but like, where's Tywin going?
It's south, King's Landing.
He's going to King's Landing to stop the Battle of the Blackwater. He's not going west.
Kyle has no clue, which
Does
is
he
great.
start going west and then go south?
I'm
or
pretty
is
sure
he
he's going south
directly
to
I think
south.
he's
Like
heading
Blackwater,
south.
like Blackwater is like around the corner, right? Like it doesn't seem like it, but like Stannis. So the next cat chapter, like Kyle said, she said she's 2 days from Riverrun. I think she actually gets to Riverrun in that chapter. Talks to Edmure or stuff like that. But by that time, you'd have
Her
to
dad
assume.
dies in this next chapter, right? Or he's dead or something.
I'm not sure if it's this book. It's probably soon.
I feel
When's the
like
send-off?
I feel like she saw him die. No,
She's there when he dies, so it might be soon. I don't think he's dead yet, but yeah, it might be soon. But I'm just thinking in terms of Stannis' timeline, right? Because that's what really puts the timeline for the Battle of the Bastards. I'm thinking as soon as Cat is gone from
Battle
Renly,
of the Bastards.
Battle of Blackwater, right? That Stannis is what sets the timeline for Battle of the Blackwater. So I'm trying to think in relation to Cat, if she's almost at Riverrun, we know the next thing for him is he kills Courtney Penrose with another Shadow Baby, who's the one holding Storm's End. As soon as that happens, he dips.
Wait, he doubles down on Shadow Baby?
Yeah, he has another. Again, we
Yeah.
haven't had the Davos chapter where he's rowing Melisandre into Storm's End. That happens.
Oh, fuck.
I've said this,
But
like,
it's for court. Yeah, you have.
I've
but
said like
you
it doesn't
did.
make sense in
Maybe
the
I
show
just
because
ignore
like
you.
in this show, like why the fuck do you?
there's no reason
Renly's not
for
in
it
Storm's
to.
End. Yeah, there's no
Right,
reason. To
there's
involve
no
Davos.
reason for that Shadow Baby to need to not be.
To swim.
There's no magic wall.
There's no magic wall stopping the Shadow Baby. Exactly. So she probably just gave birth super far away, and the Shadow just went the whole way, right? Like, but Courtney Penrose is inside a wall that has magic built in, which is what Melisandre tells Davos at least. So he has to go inside. Again,
That's pretty cool.
But let's place that in the timeline, and who knows? I haven't seen what the crowdsource timeline says, but I would say that has to be happening before this Cat chapter we're about to read. And I bet you George's doing this. I bet you George's having stuff happen away from Stannis. I would say
before this Arya chapter, too.
Probably, yeah, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. This Arya chapter doesn't have anything that places her in time.
Yeah, but why would Tywin start going south now? Just because he heard Renly died, so he's like, "Oh, Stannis is going to come right now."
You're right. I think Tywin probably got Renly news, and he's probably like,
Renly news. Stannis is getting stronger. Like, I need to get south.
Well, if I'm Tywin, what's the thing that makes me go to King's Landing? And if I know that Stannis doesn't have Renly to deal with anymore, then where's Stannis going? Right, and Stannis isn't stupid. He knows King's Landing can't defend itself right now, so they need an army. So he's like, okay, at this point, I have to beat Stannis to King's Landing. Is probably what he's thinking, and he doesn't, right? Maybe he does. Who knows? He might be camping like right offshore for like a few days and waiting for Stannis to get there to be a surprise attack. But it seems like he gets there right in time.
He gets there he knocks on the door right at the right time for sure.
What I'm saying is, I bet you with the rest of this book, and again, I keep wanting to mention this, and I keep forgetting in the not spoiler. We're halfway through the book already.
I was just gonna look. Like I just looked. Like just eyeing up where we're at, and I would say we're definitely past halfway.
Chapter
and there's
number,
like the index at the end.
Chapters. This is 38, and there's 69. So 35 would be halfway.
Yeah,
and we're decently over halfway. Chapter number,
chapters too.
And page number wise, we're like decently over too, right? Like we're almost.
Dude, these chapters have been perfect reading these chapters. I'm not looking forward to the next book because I know they get to like.
Well, they get longer at the end of this book too. There's a section of short chapters in the middle of this book, but they don't really get really bad till the last two books, Feast and Dance.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, Dance I really like reading. Feast I didn't like reading my first time through. I haven't reread it ever.
Yeah, I mean, this is all my first read, so I hope I enjoy some of the longer. I just don't know like how we're gonna navigate the 25-page chapters or so.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Like we're
gonna have to be really fucking summarized.
We might have to like record them in two parts, maybe even put them out in two parts. I don't want to. Again, the thing is, like, if we do that, like we're already got
here for fucking 17 years.
We've already got 4 years, probably more of this before. I haven't counted out. I don't want to like to get to the end of where we're at now, and apparently there's more books to come, right? But
all right, so the only real thing that I think is cool, it's not really a spoiler for us or anybody else listening, but the third name.
Yep.
Like, because Kyle's now on the part of like, well, she can't waste the third name, but the like just mind fuck that it's Jaqen is awesome.
Yeah, it's a good call by her.
Like, again, same as the show.
For being a 9-year-old, that's a great call.
Yeah, same as the show, but the outcome's totally different. In the show, he's just like, okay, and he kills a few people for her. In the books, they get the whole weasel soup, which is, I fucking love it, right? Totally different plot line. You guys don't
and I don't even remember the details of it. So, like you say, it's awesome, which kind of gets me excited to like remember it.
Yeah, I won't say anything for you guys. One thing
just
I will
tell
say
me, is it like a big part of her escape? She doesn't escape.
It's part of her escape.
Okay.
I will say yes.
Yeah. Like in the show, it's like bang, like arrow. These dead people.
I will
are
say
like
there's one more thing we gotta think about. In the show, she's not only Tywin's cupbearer.
Roose Bolton shows up, right?
She's also Roose Bolton's cupbearer, and that is actually
Is
also
how-
the same.
indication
That's
of what
the
happens.
same as the books. She is Roose Bolton's
She's
cupbearer.
more. She is actually Roose Bolton's cupbearer.
Yes, she is Roose Bolton's cupbearer in the books.
but no
At
Tywin.
Harrenhal?
At Harrenhal.
At Harrenhal when he shows up, right?
So I guess I kind of lied. It's not really part of her escape. It's part of her escape, but then all of a sudden the castle switches hands and she's not escaping. She's now staying here with Roose Bolton. I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to say
When
anything
does
else.
she leave? When does
she
she get out in the Band of Brothers? When is she with the Band of Brothers? How does she get to?
That's pretty much the beginning of the third book. Yeah, Storm of
How
Swords
does
is
she?
her on the road.
When does she end up actually leaving that? Like, what happens? Like,
There's some sort of mutiny.
so
or
what
something
happens?
at
It changes hands, and she like volunteers to now
I think
work
she just
in
convinces
Harrenhal,
Hawkeye
or-
and Gendry to sneak out with her one night. Like there's just like the opportune moment, and they just do it. Like kind of like today in this chapter. Again, I don't remember, but that's what I would guess.
And then Lamy Yellow Cloak Archer finds them.
Yeah, they all get found in a couple of chapters. Like, yeah, there'll be a couple of chapters. A chapter 2 where Arya's on the road having wolf dreams from Nymeria, right? And there's people chasing after her, but yeah, then she gets captured by them. Now that's pissing me off that I can't remember how she escapes.
Because I mean, you just told me that she was going to escape with Weasel Suit.
I kind of lied. The Weasel Suit doesn't.
She's not.
That's how she thinks she's gonna. You said don't spoil me. I don't want to spoil you, but
Don't spoil it.
It doesn't spoil
now you can't even spoil yourself because you don't remember, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But that's all I have. I don't have shit.
Yeah, I don't have anything either.
I thought this chapter was
no
very
sweets
like,
or anything.
hey,
I'm pretty
she's
sure.
doing this,
I'm
doing
pretty
this,
sure
doing
there's
this, kill
there's a
Weiss.
chapter where Roos literally leaves a map on the table, and she hears that Catelyn is at River Run, like or something like that, and she's like, "That's it, I'm out." And she takes the map and she just convinces Gendry and Hot Pie that they're leaving that night, and they're in.
Yeah, maybe. How about Sir Adam Marbrand? Does that name matter? Like,
so he was So a lot of these names we've heard before. So Adam Marbrand, we've seen him in some of the Tyrion chapters before the Battle of the Green Fork. Also, there's a lot of the houses that I read off. A lot of the people from the first 6 or so that I said we've heard before. We heard before when they were at the Battle of the Green Fork, right? Like Sir Prester, House Brax, House Swift, Craykall, Lydon, Sir Lefford, right? All those we heard at the Battle of the Green Fork.
That's Stokeworth.
Yeah, so. Cool, and the DC thing's pretty neat. Again, I'm not a big DC fan, but kind of cool.
I just don't know.
I mean, I've never heard of, other than like Green Lantern. You said Green Lantern.
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow.
He has a Netflix Marvel show.
And
or he has
the
a
Blue
Netflix show,
Beetle
doesn't he?
is the Tick for sure.
The Blue Beetle is friends with the Flash. That's all I know.
Well,
Blue Beetle.
The Batman is the GOAT of all. Like, Marvel is cool. Marvel's probably better as a whole, but Batman's the coolest
I'm just
thing
thinking,
that's ever come to comic books.
Yeah, Batman's dope, but like, just think about this. Think about if like the DC guys made like an Avenger movie.
They tried to.
I mean, they're trying, but like, I don't know. There's just not enough people to compete with
even
Batman.
The Avengers, right? You got who's the main people in the Avengers? You got Iron Man, the Hulk, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Thor. Right? That's 6. It's about the same as the Justice League.
Black Widow.
You said Black Widow.
But I guess maybe not the first Avengers had. But what some of the I think part of the best part of the Marvels is like the B-list, C-list characters, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
right.
Like, I haven't seen them yet.
Not
you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Won't let me.
Yeah, that's another one we're gonna watch. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like some of those characters, like they're not the Supermans, Batmans, but they're dope. And I'm guessing that's
like
what
Black
Green
Panther
Arrow,
was a good movie, like good story.
Yeah, Black Panther's good. I think he's more A-list than maybe he's B-list. I don't think he's like not B+ as deep. List. He's not as deep as like Guardians.
You can only be A-list if you're in the first Avengers. The first Avengers is an A-list in my mind, and I have seen the first Avengers.
Except in the comic books,
no,
I'm pretty
Spider-Man was not included in the first Avengers.
Yeah, well, that was for licensing reasons.
Spider-Man is like probably the best Marvel character.
Because Sony still
and I'm pretty sure
Spider-Man
Hank Pym, who is Ant-Man, actually was like one of the founders. Like him and Chris Rogers made the Avengers.
Paul Rudd should have been the first Avenger.
Paul Rudd's
Hank Pym.
Yeah, it's confusing. Hank Pym is the original Ant-Man. The original Ant-Man is like really old, like Captain America time, and I'm pretty sure Captain America and Hank Pym had like an Avengers in like the World War II times.
That's another spoiler for me.
Again, that's not
back to the
not
point.
Movies,
like Batman just carries DC. Like
you haven't even seen a new Batman movie. Called out
for sure, but because I'm trying to watch it with my friends.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either. I'm waiting for you, Glow. Are you waiting for us?
Jeff, I haven't seen it yet either.
That's not true. Glow hasn't waited for us. He saw it without us.
Glow can't.
I have not seen it.
Jeff is busy.
Not true.
Are you really?
I swear to Jesus, I haven't seen it.
All right, let's go.
You said you were seeing it on Friday.
All right, well, that's it for this episode. Make sure you please like and subscribe, and also join our Discord, which is included in the link below. Discord is popping.
Anyway, join our Discord, leave us a comment, tell us what you guys think, tell us we're stupid for our stupid ideas in the spoiler section, mainly me. I haven't been too rambly in this one, but we'll see you guys in the next one for Catelyn 5. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Winter is coming, friends.